All right, totally separate issue. I don't know if you guys know or notice, but I've been noticing lately a lot that people that did a certain thing back in 2020 and just people at large in general, because you can't always tell if, like, it's not like they're wearing a sign on their head or something yet. These people, they will leave the room the second that you come into the room. It already said that they're giving off a Bluetooth signal, and I don't know if they can't mesh well with human beings anymore or something, but a lot of people, if you look online, a lot of people are talking about how there are changes in the population that are noticeable. And it's not just the economy, it's not just drugs, although that helps. There is something wrong with people. And I noticed it especially in the old people. Every single old person I know that had anything remotely wrong with them as far as dementia, mental issues, anything like that has gone downhill, skyrocketing downhill. If you look online, anybody that had any different issue with cancer, it has gone full-blown terminal. And my uncle Steve died within the past year and a half, and he was healthy as a horse. His son, Joey, who was my age, died of pancreatic cancer, and he was in remission until that happened. Dead within 6 months. And there are people, and I'm just being very open and honest right now, as I try to always be, but I'm being super brutally honest. I either have people that, like, when people first meet me, I'm very kind and nice to people, so I'm very likable. A lot of times people hate me at first glance because they think that I think that I'm something that I'm not. Maybe they think I'm stuck up, or they think like I'm a prick because I wear sunglasses all the time, until I talk to them and I smile at them and I'm nice to them and I talk honestly with people, and I care about their life and things like that, which most people nowadays don't do. So usually people are very nice to me at first, until they find out that maybe my worldview doesn't align with what they think, because I have very different views than most people, even most Christians. My views are not the same as theirs. So a lot of times we don't get along after a time. In fact, I don't talk to my mom, my dad, my brother, my sister, my kids, none of them, because they know how I think. And so I would like for that to not be the case. I've tried to reconcile and things like that, but sometimes when people when people judge you because of the way that you say that people should live according to God, you just have to kind of take those losses. I like Paul said, like, I'm gaining everything with God. I don't really need that in my life. You just kind of lose everything to gain everything. And that's fine with me. It's sad and it's hard to live with, but it's fine with me. But for the past 6 months, I am on the road all the time. I'm on the road every day. I'm going in new coffee shops, new breakfast places, things like that to get breakfast. If I don't have time to, because we share one car right now, so like sometimes I have to like just book it out of the house in the morning. I don't have time to make breakfast, so I grab something on the road. And as soon as I walk in these places, even on the weekends when I go with Jackie, it's like 5 couples will simultaneously get up and walk out of the restaurant. And it's like, they're not like making room for us or anything like that. It's like being polite like people used to back in the day. It's like literally like this. We walk in, they turn like this, all of their heads turn at the same time, like a flock of seagulls or something, like, and I have a French fry, and they turn, and as they're turning, the second they land on us, they're standing and walking out of the restaurant simultaneously. They don't even talk to each other. They just all get up, like the people at the tables together, couples. They don't even look at each other to signal we're leaving now. They just get up and walk out. And some of them are not even really like done what they're eating. And there's a movie called The End of the World or something like that, with the guy that made Shaun of the Dead and stuff like that. And like everybody in the town turned into like aliens and stuff like that. And nobody knows that they got taken over. And it's like, I'm telling you that movie is based on what I'm talking about, where people made a decision and now they're like in part of some type of like matrix that they don't even know that they're in. And you might say that's nuts because it sounds weird, like even speaking it out loud, but that's what it feels like. And I'm not the only one that's saying this. If you hear the people that are saying what I'm saying, they're very like down to earth type of people, like people from like Kentucky, like the southern states that don't live in the East Coast where like anything goes yet. You know what I mean? Like I live in Northfield, New Hampshire, which is really like Tilton, New Hampshire, which is like exit 20 off of 93, which is the main highway in New Hampshire that runs up into the White Mountains, North Conway, Lake Winnipesaukee, that area. I grew up in this area as in the summertime, and I grew up on 93. It was the highway I drove to go to Sears when I was 18 to work. Like this highway is where I grew up. This highway is a main artery of New Hampshire to get anywhere from Massachusetts. I am probably 60 miles as a crow flies away from Salem, Massachusetts, where they set up a statue of the Baphomet in a temple, which is the international satanic headquarters, basically, is in Salem, Mass. There's rainbow flags everywhere. And two men kissed in front of this Baphomet statue when it was inaugurated, which is kind of odd that would happen. Like, what does that have to do with it? Right? It has everything to do with it. Pride is what caused Satan to fall from heaven. So they're pridefully kissing in front of a statue to Satan. And these people know what they're doing. At least spiritually, they know what they're doing. And so in this area where I am, it is like the headquarters, the start of evil in this country is here, where I live. And a lot of things that started in this country here have grown secretly in the shadows until it was okay for the son of perdition to allow lawlessness to happen. And you'll notice that a lot of the lawlessness in this country happened when Obama became president. And so now, it's solution reaction, or whatever it is, the Hegelian dialectic. So like, you cause a problem, you present the solution, and you institute the solution because it's what you wanted to get done in the first place, the reason you started the BS. That's what Obama said that he wants to do, is start some crap, flood the public market with enough chaos and confusion that nobody knows what to believe anymore. Then you throw AI into that, where they can create full fake videos of like puppies and dogs like doing funny things, and the dog's not real, the video's not real, it's all fake and all that. And so they could fake an alien invasion online using AI, like just with videos, and then have a couple things happen for real in real life, just like they took out half of Hawaii with lasers. Like, there's songs about what I'm talking about. They have it in the lyrics. It's in movies that they can take stuff out with laser beams and stuff like that. Direct energy weapons is a real thing, but people act like it's totally fake. But anyways, Obama started all the lawlessness in the country. They act like they don't want Trump in, but they do want Trump in because they want him to institute all the soldiers in the cities, because if Obama had done that, they would think it was a takeover. But if Trump does it, they're like, oh, whatever, we want the military to help us and stuff like that. But really what they're doing, they're going to set up these military installations with our soldiers who love America. Then they're going to take those soldiers out of there when Obama gets in, because they no longer will pass a lie detector test anymore, because they're not going to go against the civilian population unless they don't like, the city they're in. Maybe it's fully democratic and the soldiers are fine with busting heads there. I don't know. But just think about it. They set up the military installations in all these major cities, and then they get rid of the soldiers once Obama comes back. Then they put the FEMA soldiers in, and all the soldiers that have come from other foreign countries that are all Muslims, stick them in as the soldiers, and then they come and break down your doors and kill you if you don't follow Sharia law. And you could say I'm totally nuts, but look at how many countries have been overrun in Europe. And not only that, it says that God is doing this in the book of the Bee. God is doing this in allowing the Muslims to take over the Christian lands because Christians are sexually immoral. The same man and his son will sleep with the same woman. And you're like, oh, that's crazy. Has anybody watched television in the past 10 years? Has anybody seen Jerry Springer? Has anybody seen, and you say, oh, those are all evil people. Are you kidding me? I went to Salem Christian School my whole life, and the pastor that showed up, Chip something, his kids, the Suttons, they came to the church knowing that he was there as the head pastor because they got kicked out of their last church because he had an affair with a 16-year-old. My school that I went to, Calvary Christian, that I graduated high school from, is shut down right now because the vice principal had sex with an underage girl while he was married and had 4 kids that were the age of the age of the girl that he had sex with. That's just 2 instances, and I'm not even getting started with the first school. Salem Christian had so many affairs that they basically had to shut the place down for a short amount of time to get a new pastor. Like, they had a new head pastor there like every 6 months. His wife, Chip Sutton's wife, she ended up opening a yoga studio and ended up being with the secretary of the school's husband, and then now they started their own family and yoga studio, which is an evil practice, the yoga. Then the Wells family, 12 kids. The dad cheats on the wife with a lady that had 3 kids and leaves her, and she's a single mom with 12 kids. And they're all my best friends. I talked to them up until a couple of years ago, and one of them turned out to be a homosexual, and he's like my best friend growing up in grade school. He's married to a dude now. Do you see the sin that leaks into us? And we need to go back to Christ. And the only way to do that, in my opinion, at this point, is for him to destroy America. And how would that happen? It would happen by Sharia law, because God says that if you don't obey his 10 commandments, he's going to give you a worse law, like Cain's law, which is what we're kind of under through the social security system and things like that, and the way they made us into slaves and all that. We're under Cain's law, basically, which is worse. And you can look up what that is online and like what I'm talking about. I'm not going to go into the whole thing right now. But think about what I'm saying. I'm not trying to be like out there with what I'm saying. I'm just saying, think about it. Think about the flags that are on churches in America. It says that in the book of the Bee, it says that the Muslims will turn the Christian churches, they'll kill the pastors of the churches, and then they'll turn the churches into places where they keep their donkeys and their horses and things like that, and they will pollute the temple and the pulpit basically by having sex at the pulpit on purpose. What I am talking about, it also says they will tear up your young women, which is rape them, which I think the Netherlands or Denmark are one of those places, is a rape capital of Europe. And it's happening just at the beginning stages of the immigration policies that have been instituted. The only country that has a strict, we will kill you if you cross this fence, is Poland, which is a Christian nation. And I'm not saying that they obey the true Christianity. They're more like Orthodox, which follows the canon, so they don't accept like Enoch and all those other books. Maybe some do, but most don't. So I'm not saying it's like they're totally correct in their ideologies, but they are correct in keeping the people that want to destroy them out of their country. And this is the whole point of Sharia law, is to either outbreed us, which is in their own laws. They want to outbreed us or kill us. This is, if you read what it says on the statue of Albert Pike, who is the 33-degree Mason, or probably higher, but that's what it says on his statue. Albert Pike is a Freemason, and he said, in order to institute Luciferian worship worldwide, we need to have a third world war where the Muslims fight the Christians, and it's such a large war that it will cause full economic destruction, and at the end of it, people will just give up and institute Lucifer as God because they're just so sick of the war between the two religions. Happening right now. Happening as we speak, and America is being prepped for this at the beginning of an AI revolution, which is artificial intelligence that comes from demonic portals in France. And France's president is a homosexual that is married to a transsexual that just happens to be named Emmanuel, which is the name of the Son of God. That the demons in the Testament of Solomon say, I am thwarted by the Son of God, whose name is Emmanuel. They call him that. Whose number is 644. I'm just trying to take some of the things that I listen to in my personal time and relate them to modern day events. Sorry, I'm scratching my fingernail. Forget what I'm doing in the camera sometimes. I paint all over my fingers. Guys, I'm a hardworking person. I'm tired, but I can't, even in my tired state, I can't let a day go by that I don't at least try to wake one person up. I don't try to wake one person up to the lies that we're being told and prepare you for the war that's coming. And I don't know how to do that except tell you to read the Bible and read the books that were taken out, because they tell you about the wars that came before us. They tell you, like the Maccabean Wars, they tell you about the power that we actually have through Jesus Christ. But if you're not close to Jesus Christ right now and you're messing around with anything that has to do with the devil, and I mean anything, then you need to repent and get rid of it in your life. And I say that coming from a place where I used to live in Christian circles, and I couldn't stand it. Couldn't stand the hypocrisy. I couldn't stand any of it. So I don't come to you lightly saying these things. For a long time, I had a problem even saying Jesus bless you or any of that stuff, because people said it all the time and they didn't mean it. That's why in the comments, if you comment, I say Jesus be with you, because I really mean that when I say that. I don't just say it. I hope that Jesus, the Son of the living God, is with all of us during these times and ahead. And I don't try to be too serious all the time, but this is that moment in every single movie where it's about to get real, and you see the people fall by the wayside in the movie because they didn't have the right tools, they didn't have the right preparation, they didn't think about what was really going to happen, they were kind of fluffy about everything. And this isn't the time to be fluffy. You need to pack even a small bag and have it with you. Have a saw, a small hatchet, fire, water, and you might be on the run. And I just want to prepare you for that, what I'm talking about, for when it becomes real. And I have been preparing for this since I had the dreams of Obama 10 years ago when my house burned down. Maybe it's 12 years now, I don't remember. And the dream was so real, it made me start to prepare vigorously for what's coming, because it is frightening. And God says, don't be afraid. But sometimes in our humanness, you see what happens, and it's pretty real. And you're like, wow, I got to get ready for this. And maybe that's the purpose of the dream, but you're just not supposed to be afraid of it, because Jesus is the one in control of everything. But I don't know your situation. I don't know if you have kids. I don't know if you have people that in your home that have health issues, or whatever your situation might be. Maybe you can't run. Maybe you're like Zen and you're in a wheelchair and you can't run. And in those scenarios, I just pray that God protect you and keep you safe where you're at. and I believe that he can. But if you are the type of person that is in an area where you're going to have to flee from where you are because of what's coming, then I just would urge you to take whatever you can right now and prepare even a small bag of like on-the-go food and water tablets, water straws, fire, different kinds of fire making tools. Definitely bring a couple of Bic lighters. It's the fastest way to make a fire. Learn how to make a fire that doesn't give off any smoke by making like a U-shaped pit and things like that. Don't be afraid. If you want to get like, fire starters that are super cheap, just take cotton and mix it with Vaseline and it makes a bunch of fire starters for like $3, things like that. Just learn how to do that quick. And if you did used to prep and now you don't because you just got sick of waiting for whatever is going to come, then get back into it and just start preparing. So that's enough on that, I guess. But I hope this wasn't too much of me rambling. I was trying to talk about real life stuff today as opposed to what I normally talk about, but kind of link them together if possible. So I hope this was eye-opening. God bless you all. Have a great day, guys. Have a great weekend and take care.